Hey guys, it's Brittany with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today, I just wanted to go over the direct mailer postcards and how to get a design downloaded from command for the direct mailer campaigns. So if you guys are in the process of creating a postcard design within command, or maybe you guys have already created one, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to get that downloaded and sized properly for the command direct mailer campaign. So again, I'm already logged into command. I'm just on agent.kw.com and I'm right on the homepage. And to start, I'm going to go ahead and click on my designs tab. And if you guys have already created your postcard, I've manually renamed mine based on the size that the postcard was already set up as. So I have one for 6x9, I have one for 6x11, and then I also have one for 4x6. So these are already pre-sized for those specific postcards. That being said, if you've already created a design and you're unsure which size it is, I'm going to show you guys how to check that. And if you guys have not yet set up a design, if this is something that you're just starting, I'm also going to show you guys the difference on how to tell which folder is pre-sized. So you guys do have a couple of folders within designs that you can select. And I'm just going to show you guys which folder is going to be directly related to which size of the postcard when you guys are setting that up. So I'm going to start by clicking on Create Design on the top right, just to show you guys those folders. And then we'll go ahead and select Print and then Continue. And once this section loads, you guys will notice that you do have several folders on the left-hand side. There are a ton of designs available for you guys now, and every category will essentially have some sort of postcard available to you. The primary one that you guys are going to see are going to be these standard postcards. Standard postcards, if you hover over that, you're going to see that they are already sized for 6x4. So essentially those 4x6 postcards, these are good to go. You'll also see, if we'll click on my app, we'll have large postcards. I have 9x6. Those are already pre-sized for the 6x9 cards. And then we also have our jumbo postcards, which are already pre-sized for 11x6. If you guys selected a postcard out of any one of these categories, they're already sized and can be downloaded as a PDF with manual bleed, which I'm going to show you guys how to do. So those can be automatically downloaded and you can essentially import them and it will automatically import into that direct mailer campaign as 6x11, as 6x9, or as 4x6. If you guys selected a different design, whether it just wasn't under one of these categories, or if you guys happen to come across either the just listed or just sold, and you wound up using the postcard A6, they need to be manually resized. So I'm going to show you guys how to do those as well. We are going to start with the standard postcards, and I already have a design that I set up. So I'm just going to go ahead and select my designs. And then I'm just going to pull up my 4x6 option. So I'll just open that up. So if you guys have already created your design, or once you guys do create your design and you're on this screen, and this will go for any size. So if you guys did opt to do the 6x9 or the 6x11, you just want to open up your design, make your edits, and then once you're good to go, this same downloading process will work for you. The last thing that I do want to show you guys on this screen before downloading the actual image is I'm going to go ahead and just click on File. If you guys are working on a postcard and you select File, you're going to see right at the bottom of the page, it will be Format with the dimensions of the file that you're working on. This is great just in case you don't remember which folder you were in when you selected your design. A lot of the designs look similar, so once you start editing the text and adding in your pictures, it's really hard to tell where it came from. So if you guys did just select a design because it worked for you, this is a great way to confirm what size that image actually is. So from here, in order to download this in my 4x6, I'm just going to go ahead and click download on the top right. I'm going to select on my drop-down list, PDF for printing. So you'll see there's a PDF standard and a PDF for printing. I'm going to click on my PDF for printing. And then I'm going to manually select include bleed. And then I want to make sure that the bubble next to use manual bleed is selected. And I'm going to leave that exactly as the 0.125. What this manual bleed is doing is essentially giving the postcard a little bit of an edge. That way, when you guys send this to the printer through that direct mailer campaign, when they are cropping it and cutting everything, you're not going to end up losing any of the actual postcard or the image. It's kind of like that little safe space around the image to avoid anything having to be cropped. So once I have my PDF for printing, my include manual bleed, and my use manual bleed, and again, I'm just leaving it as is, I'm then going to select my pages. So as of right now, I only have page 1 selected. I'm going to leave it like that. If it does automatically select both pages on you, make sure that you're unchecking one of them. That way they're set up as 2 separate files, as the campaign is going to require a front and a back. So I'm going to go ahead and click on download to get my first page downloaded. And this does usually take a second, so don't panic. And I'm using Firefox, so it will pop up for me. So once I get this little pop-up, it's just going to let me know that I can save it. I'll click on OK. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing for the back of the postcard. So I have my PDF for printing. Make sure you're manually checking include bleed again, and then use manual bleed. And then I'm just going to swap the pages. So now I'm going to do the back and then download. And then we'll save that file. And once I have them both downloaded, I'm just going to go ahead and click on done, which is just going to bring me right back to command. And then I'll go ahead and go into campaigns. Once I'm in campaigns, we can go ahead and create a new campaign. And again, this is going to be to order those direct mailers. So I'll click on create campaign. I have my direct mail option. And I'm just going to put this one 4x6 list. And then I'll do advertise listing, and you would want to select whichever option applies to you. And then for this section, we're going to go ahead and click on use a custom template. If you want to bypass doing the entire design process, you can use a default template provided. We do have a tip video for that as well. I'm going to click on use a custom template and then create campaign. From here, I can now go ahead and add the downloads that I just did. So I'm just going to click on browse files. And then I have some ones that I was working on earlier. So my newer ones, these are my 4x6. So I'm going to select that one, which will be the front of the postcard. And there's the front. And then I have the back of the postcard. And then once I'm done, you'll notice right here, it does tell me what size it is, which is great as well. This is just another confirmation. And then I'll just go ahead and click on continue. And now I can either save as draft or I can complete the actual campaign. And we do have a tip video that goes over the entire process if you need that as well. But this is just how you guys can get these images added. So I'm going to go ahead and save this one as a draft. And then I just want to show you guys how to also download an image and manually resize that just in case you guys did choose one of those A6 designs, or if you even just have a design from another platform that maybe you guys got from a third-party platform. I want to show you guys how to resize that as well. So I'm just going to jump right back into designs really quick. And once I'm in designs, so again, if you guys used an A6, I already have one pulled up, but if you guys just have a design that maybe you didn't use a postcard, maybe you guys created something from scratch and the dimensions are just a little bit off, whatever it may be, this process will allow you to manually resize it. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up that A6 design. And designs do usually take a second to load, so if it does take a second, don't panic. We do recommend using Firefox. I'm in Firefox private window right now. That tends to work best. If you guys are having any issues with Chrome, Safari, or Explorer, try swapping over to Firefox and it should work a little bit better for you guys. So once I'm into this section, just like we did for the last design, if I click on File, it's going to give me the dimensions. However, those are not the dimensions required for a postcard. That being said, if it is not the exact dimensions of a postcard, I cannot download it as a PDF. The PDF is only going to be accepted if it is the perfect size. So where this is a little bit off and I'm going to have to manually resize it, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to download it the exact same way that we did before, but this time, instead of selecting PDF for printing, I'm going to go ahead and select PNG. So again, I'm clicking on download and then I'm selecting PNG because my file is not sized properly. From here, I'm just going to make sure that I have the highest quality possible. And then as far as the pages go, same thing as last time. We want to make sure that only one of the pages is downloaded per time. That way they're separate files. So I have page 1 selected first. I'm just going to go ahead and click on download. And same thing as last time, it will pop up right when it's done. And then I'll save this file. And if you guys are using Chrome, you may not get that pop-up. So don't panic, it's just waiting for you in your download folder. Once download is clickable again, you can go ahead and download the other side. So I'll click download once more, and I'll select my second page and unselect my first, and then download. And everything else is the same. So I have PNG, this is still the highest, and I'm just doing the back page. And I'll give that a second. And then we'll save that one. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and click on done once more. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on my campaigns just so we can pull up the sizes that we would need depending on what size postcard you guys are looking to send out, because this will have it all written out for you. So once I click on my campaigns, again, same thing as last time, we'll click on create campaign and then direct mail. And then for this one, we'll do 6x9 test. And then we're doing upload custom template again and create campaign. Nope, we'll do advertise listing. Make sure that you guys are checking off your goal as well. So from here, we also have our sizes that are needed for each postcard. If you guys are using a third party to set these up, whether it's a system that you guys are manually creating postcards on, or if you guys are using somebody in the office or just a graphic designer, whatever it may be, these dimensions are going to be gold. These are going to be what you can essentially provide them to make sure that they are getting sized properly. So again, if they are being sent over to you as a PDF, they do need to have that manual bleed and they still need to be sized accordingly. However, for JPEG or PNG files, you just need to make sure that the pixels match up on the actual image. So for this one, I'm going to do a 6x9. So in other words, that means my image is going to need to be 18 by 75 by 2775. Exactly. It cannot be 1 pixel off, or else the direct mailer campaign will reject the image. So if I go to just import the image that I just downloaded, and I'll show you guys what that will look like. The image that I just downloaded is right here. I'll get an error message letting me know that it's not set up properly. So in order to manually resize those, all I'm going to do is pull up my folder really quick. And then I have both my front and my back images. I'm just going to go ahead and open them up in Paint. That way I can go ahead and resize these manually. If you guys are using a PC, you guys will either have access to essentially edit with Paint 3D, or you may just have regular Paint. I'm going to show you guys how to do both of them. So to start, I'm going to open this up in Paint 3D. And it usually does take a second to open. So once that loads, I'm just going to minimize this. I'll drag this over a little bit. So once this does load up, I'm just going to go ahead and click on Canvas. And again, this is Paint 3D. So if you guys have regular Paint, I'm going to pull that up next. Don't panic, but I'm going to show you guys also how to do this in Paint 3D. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Canvas. And then you'll notice that you guys now have access to edit the pixels on the right-hand side, and it's already set as pixels. You will want to unlock the aspect ratio, and then you'll want to make sure, if for some reason it does default to %, just make sure that you have pixels selected. Once you guys have that, you're just going to plug in the numbers for the size of the postcard you guys are working with. So if you're doing 4 by 6, you would use these dimensions. If you're using the 6 by 9, it would be these, or the 6 by 11, it would be these. So I'm going to pull up my 3D Paint, and I'm going to do 6 by 9. So this is going to default to 2775 by 1875. And then here's my image resized. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and save this. And in order to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and click on Menu, and then I'm just going to save over my original image. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and X out of Paint 3D. And I'm going to pull up regular Paint just to show you guys how to do it in the regular Paint system as well, if you guys aren't using Paint 3D. So I have regular Paint here, and then it just pulls up a blank screen for me. And in order to open up a file in regular Paint, I'm just going to go ahead and click on File and Open.